Christine Luciani. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome, everybody. This is Conversations with Women Like Me. I'm Julie Fairhurst. I'm the founder of Women Like Me. It's a book series of women like me, women like the rest of us who have written their personal stories in the hope to help others and to help promote healing in the world. Christine Luciani is here with us today. Christine wrote in book one. So this is the book that Christine wrote in, and she is in, well, you can't see it, she's in chapter number 2. And Christine's title of her story is Facing Mortality, My New Appreciation of Life. So I'll tell you really a little bit about Christine. I've known her for many, many years. So Christine lives in Ontario, Canada, and she works full-time as a virtual assistant. And her main focus is on marketing, social media marketing. So Christine is going to tell us a little bit about her story. So welcome, Christine. I'm excited to have you here.
Well, thank you, Julie. I'm happy to be here.
Good. So why don't we start our conversation with, why don't you tell us why you wanted to write your story in the book Women Like Me?
Well, the reason that I wrote the story is I ended up being very sick, and I didn't have really any idea that I was sick. And if that can happen to me, that can happen to other people too. Just because you feel good doesn't necessarily mean you are good health-wise.
Right.
I had open heart surgery and colon cancer surgery. And before I found out I had all of that, all I'd get is dizzy once in a while. And I had a few bowel issues, which with having colon cancer, that makes sense. I put it down to my age.
So you felt good, but you actually were very seriously ill.
Yes, I had thought I had the runs, and it turned out it was blood. And I got it checked immediately and found out I had colon cancer. On the same day that I found out I had colon cancer, I found out I also had a heart problem.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. What was the heart problem that you had?
Well, when they did the CAT scans and MRIs for my colon cancer, they found a mass on my heart that was hanging basically by a thread. It wasn't actually like embedded in my heart. And they were worried that it would break away and, well, I would die. It would create a blockage.
Wow. So
in a way, you can say cancer saved my life, because if I didn't have the cancer, I never would have known about the heart problem. And I ended up having open heart surgery, and 6 weeks later having colon cancer surgery, and got a permanent ostomy for life. I have a stoma.
Wow.
If anyone doesn't know what a stoma is, it's basically you're having your bowel movements out of your stomach into a bag.
That must have been, I mean, wow, to hear that you have cancer, but then to also hear that you have to have an issue with your heart. So now you have to have 2 serious operations back to back. I mean, that's a lot for somebody to have to go through. How do you think you managed? Like, that's like incredible.
Well, I think I was in shock. When I look back on that time, it's almost like it was a big, long dream. It was surreal. You just kind of go with it. And I know in my story, I did say sometimes it's easy to be strong when you have no choice. But I mean, I did have a choice. I could have not had the surgeries and just let nature take its course. And some people do that, but no, I wasn't ready to leave this planet.
Yeah.
I'm still not ready to leave this planet. I'm happy to be here. And it has changed my life in a lot of ways. I feel different than other people now. And I have to just accept that, because if I didn't have this bag, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
So you kind of have to take the good with the bad, and acceptance is a huge deal. Not every person accepts. Like, I'm very open about my stoma. Some
Right.
people accept it and are very supportive, and no problem. Other people, even if you happen to, you know, make a smell or something, they just kind of, they don't want anything to do with you. So
Right.
I have had that experience,
Yeah. Do
and
you think
that's not
that
very nice, but it's
do you
how it
think
is.
that do you think that maybe people that react that way, do you think that that's just maybe a fear? Like,
I think it makes them uncomfortable, because of
yeah,
course none of us are comfortable talking about bowel movements or urination, or like,
right.
they aren't things that we generally talk about in public.
Yeah.
But I have to say it, I'm stoma proud. I'm
Yeah.
stoma proud. I don't hide the fact I have one. Uh, I'm really not embarrassed by it. Sometimes I wish my clothes fit a little better.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
That does make a difference.
Yeah.
But you just buy clothes that will make it work.
It's just adjusting, right? And
Yes.
and it and it's keeping you alive.
Oh yeah. And I've had no problems. My cancer so far, I am cancer free 2 years
Oh,
later.
that's awesome. That's so good.
And my life has changed. I find that I enjoy the little things a lot more.
Mm,
I'm not crying like I did for most of my life. When I think back on it, Julie, I wasted so much of my life being unhappy, not realizing that happiness is a choice.
right.
We can all be happy if we put our minds to it. And it's that dwelling on the past and oh, I made a mistake 20 years ago and I'm still kicking myself for it. What is that about? That's crazy.
Right. Right.
And having this happen just made me appreciate life so much more,
Mm,
because we've only got the one. And that really brought it home to me with these
yes.
2 operations.
Yes. Yeah.
I also, then this year I had a car accident on May 31st.
Oh my
Also,
goodness.
yeah, T-boned my car, got T-boned, and was a write-off. And another day that made me realize, oh, I could have not been here today.
Yes. Yeah.
Enjoy your life as much as you can. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I want people
Yeah.
to know. And also, anything that doesn't seem right with your body, get it checked out. And it just can't hurt. And it's
Yeah.
better to know than not to know.
No, for sure. I like Christine, that is amazing advice to give people. And so many of us are fearful to go to the doctor because we're afraid of what they're going to tell us. But if you don't go, what happens? Like
If I
my
waited, I might
yeah,
not have been stage 1 cancer. I
right.
could have been stage 4.
Right.
And I was lucky. I didn't have to have chemo or radiation. Uh, they figured that my odds are it wasn't going to make a big difference in my odds.
Right.
So why put my body through it unless I
Yeah.
have to? That was my decision.
Yeah. So you have to go for continuous checks, I guess, for the rest of your life then?
Oh yes. I think after 5 years, they basically consider you healed, cured, like in
Yeah.
remission, whatever. And then the tests will probably be further apart,
Right.
instead of being every 6 months.
Yeah.
It will be, every year or something.
And what about the heart? So they removed that, and as far as they're concerned, you're good.
Well, I also had COVID to deal with.
Right.
I had my operation in 2019, the heart operation in August, the bowel cancer, colon cancer in October. And then by March, it was COVID.
Right.
So I can't remember the question.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So with the COVID, that's okay. But I wanted to talk to you about the COVID because really you've had to, because of your health, and heaven forbid, if you got COVID, who knows what that could do to you, because you've had these serious life-threatening issues. So you're somewhat isolated.
Oh, very, very, for the last few years. And I had just moved back to Ontario from BC.
Yeah.
I've been in BC for 15 years and came back, had the operations, managed to get a 2-week visit into BC to visit my daughter and grandchildren. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Moved to a new province, living on my own for the first time in 30 years.
Wow.
Which was scary enough to start with. And then the COVID. I haven't met anyone new.
No.
It has made me, sometimes I'm scared and lonely, but most of the time I'm just happy I'm still here.
Well, I'm happy you're here too. Absolutely. That's a wonderful frame of mind, Christine. Absolutely. Can I just ask you, when you were writing your story, like I know you were writing it because you wanted to help others that may have some sort of similar type issues that you were dealing with, but did writing your story do anything in terms of helping you through all of that?
It was very cathartic to put it all down on paper.
Yeah.
It lets you kind of look at it all with a different mindset.
Yeah.
I find that I can walk outside. If I see a ladybug, I'm standing there for 5 minutes watching this ladybug, which before I never would have even taken the time to, it's that old saying, stop and smell the roses.
Right.
I think I've really started to do that, which, let's face it, that it's important.
Yes.
Enjoy life.
Yes.
Enjoy life.
Yeah.
And you see things on Facebook all the time about, today is here, the past is gone, tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's so true. And I know facing it, as you get older and you have something like this happen, when we're young, we feel invincible.
Right.
Invincible, like we can do whatever we want and nothing bad is going to happen to us.
Yeah.
Well, that changes some as you get older. You start to realize that, my time here is limited. And it's a harsh realization, but it's something that we all have to go through.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
one of us isn't.
No. Christine, you mentioned something to me about your son reading your story, and I'd love for you to share that a little bit before we go, because I just love if you want to share that.
Well, my son, I was having a really rough day a couple of weeks ago, actually. And I mean, I gave him a copy of the book. He's read my story. And of course, he knew it all from me anyway.
Right.
And I was having a rough day, a blue day. We all get one. And I phoned him up, and he was just awesome. He told me how proud he was of me. He
Aw.
told me that I was a survivor. He told me that, change is hard for everyone. And he doesn't even know if he could have gone through what I have gone through in the last few years.
Mhm.
And just to hear that from my son,
Aw.
I don't remember that he's ever told me that before. And it
Yeah,
was, my heart melted. And
of course.
my bad day turned to a good day. And it
Yeah.
was like, it's okay, no more tears. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had enough of these darn tears in my life. And, might have been a little tear of happiness thereafter,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was wonderful to
Aw.
know that my child was so supportive and understanding. He was proud of me and how
Mm.
strong I was. And
Yeah.
sometimes I didn't feel like I was strong. I didn't even know I was being strong
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you look back on it, you go, oh, yeah, that saying is true. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
And to have someone like your son to point that out to you. I
Yes.
mean, and that he recognized it and he saw it in you. I mean, it's a horrible experience that you had to go through, but really there's so many beautiful things that come out of it, you
I
know?
I found I had friends where I didn't think I had friends. Of course, these are all people that I knew before. I haven't met any new friends since darn COVID.
Yeah.
Uh, but I had friends that kind of came out of the woodwork for driving me to hospital appointments or doctor's appointments, and to be there when I had a doctor appointment to come in with me because I might not remember everything the doctor
Right.
says. And yes, I had a lot of support,
Aw. Well,
and the support from my son was the best. And
absolutely. When you shared that with me, I thought, if you were, I just thought if you were comfortable to share that little bit. And yeah, that was just, yeah, that's lovely. Just lovely that he had the courage to tell you. And I think that that's, so often we get tied up in ourselves, and for whatever reason, we don't speak the truth. And just a little bit, like he said to you, can certainly help us along the way. That's for
oh,
sure.
it's something I'm not going to forget. It's going to
Yeah.
be the next time I'm having a blue day, I'm going to think of the words that he told me and how much he loved me and how proud he was of me and how
Yeah.
strong I was. That is going to stick in my head forever.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, Christine, I just appreciate you hopping on here and with me and telling your story
My
to everybody
pleasure.
that's listening. It's 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 dramatic, it's sad, but it's happy too. And I'm just so happy that things worked out for you and that you're doing well in the world. And I appreciate you writing the book. So for everybody that was listening, thank you so much. This is the book, volume 1, that Christine wrote in. She's got the other cover there. So we have 2 covers for this book, and that's the large print version. So if you wanted to learn more about Christine's story, you can pick this book up off of two places. You can go to Amazon, or you can go to womenlikeme.stories.com, and you'll find it there, and you'll find Christine's profile there as well in the author section. So Christine, thank you so much. I appreciate you very much doing this. And
Thank you for having me, Julie.
no, you're welcome. And we will talk soon. So all the best. Take
For
care.
sure. Bye
Thank
now.
you. Bye.